Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Spooky Gals, the podcast where we explore all sorts of real-life paranormal and creepy occurrences, from ghost sightings and hauntings to reported alien and cryptid encounters, myths, folklore, legends and more. Every week we'll cover a different true spooky story. We're your hosts. I'm Katrina.
And I'm Jasmine. Good morning, Catty.
Good afternoon, Jasmine.
Yes it is. Although I think probably outside it looks probably about the same time of day for both of us.
Yeah, it does.
With how dark it gets in the UK. But yes, how was your day? Well, I mean, how was your morning?
My morning.
You've probably been awake for like half an hour.
I know, it's 10 o'clock, so I've been awake for an hour, actually. Thank you very much.
Okay, and how was your first hour of your day?
I didn't really do anything.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think doing nothing is my favourite pastime. I think people don't realise when I say that I'm doing nothing, that's a job. That's something I am actively trying to do. I'm trying to achieve nothing. Yes,
committed
I
to
am.
it. Mm-hmm.
I am committed to it. I think there's nothing more freeing than saying, you know what, today I'm going to do absolutely nothing. I think there's something so pure and so honest, yet also it's also a complete fallacy, because as I said, it's an active part, like it is active duty. Okay. It is my duty to myself to achieve nothing.
Yay. I always even when I'm doing nothing though, I do still like to do some crafts.
Oh yes, but you've always liked to do that.
Do.
You've always liked to stitch or something.
Currently, I have a cloth upon which to do tarot cards, and I've been sewing it so that it doesn't fray around the edges.
Oh,
and
that's cool. I didn't know you did tarot cards.
And then I don't really. I'm trying to start. But,
that's cool.
But
that's
I do
awesome.
do embroidery, so I'm going to try and embroider
You do?
I do.
Why am I 10 years old? But yeah, no, that's really, I mean, I guess kind of same, except for me, my idea of nothing is trying to watch Grey's Anatomy on TV while playing Sims and being on my phone all at the exact same time.
I saw that recent story.
Yes, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But the cat does. I think Jasper also really enjoys Grey's Anatomy. Jasper is my mother's cat, by the way, everyone. So he likes to lie directly on top of my laptop and purr very loudly, so that I can't even hear the show. So that's a bummer.
And
but
then you like to
cute.
take videos of Jasper lying on your laptop purring loudly.
Precisely, because again, I have to show people to prove that I am doing nothing. Right?
Yeah.
This is evidence of my nothingness.
That's way too much effort for me.
Precisely. I mean, sometimes I do things, but not today.
That's fair.
Not today, folks. Sometimes you have to look out the window and say, yeah, you know what? Not today.
Yeah, but you are ill. You do have tonsillitis.
Yeah, I don't have COVID. I do have tonsillitis, which is a bitch. And I mean, also, I don't remember ever having tonsillitis this bad ever in my life. And I'm pretty sure most people get it when they're really little. And I have no idea why suddenly now my immune system's like, you know what? Everyone around you is wearing masks all the time. But how about let's give you a mouth infection? Ooh. Saucy, something different. It's okay. It's okay. I think it's quite fun. It's good to see that other kinds of diseases aren't letting the coronavirus steal their spotlight. I really admire that kind of pathogenic tenacity. I really think it's cool.
Yeah. Wonderful.
They will not be outshined.
Super.
Okay, so what about you? What's your week been like?
It has been stressing and crying.
Oh no.
All that good
Learning
stuff.
how to do tarot cards.
No,
That's
well, not even yet. I've
fun.
not even had a minute to do that because, like, my first assignment is due on Friday, so I submitted that the other day. But I've got to go like straight into my second assignment, and it was my first weekend back at work, so
Yeah.
I didn't have any time to do like my homework, so I had to do it really, really quickly. And it was like, it's due on Monday, but then, yeah. So, but I did it, and
At least
just
you're back
very
at work though. That's
tired.
cool.
Yeah.
Things have opened up there again now.
Yeah, but also very luckily I do have the next two weekends booked off, so
That's good.
I don't have to
That's good.
stress. Because this episode
Yeah.
I literally wrote like yesterday.
Well, you know what? I'm sure it's going to be amazing, and it is, after all, lucky number 13,
It is.
and we are nothing if not incredibly superstitious. So, let's get down to it. I'm excited.
Boo. Okay, so before we get into this week's story, we'd just like to say a massive thank you to our newest patrons.
Woo!
Cassie Thomas, Chi Stormshot, and Parker Jackson. Thank you so much, and we absolutely adore you. You're such darlings, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Love you so much. And also for anyone that's into memes and shit, my friend Cassie and I, she's a really good friend, and she and I make memes along with our other friends about Hong Kong. So if you're anyone that you know live in Hong Kong and enjoy really low effort memes about how annoying expats are, please feel free to follow us at Chaotic Hong Kong Expats on Facebook. Thank you very much, Cassie. I love you a lot. Okay, so
Yay.
let's do this.
So, today's story has a lot of Japanese, so I'm very sorry if I mispronounce anything. It is the Abandoned Inunaki Howling Dog Village.
Oh.
My sources for this are hidingfromjapaneseghosts.com, which is incredible.
Me. That's literally how I feel every time that we watch, like, The Grudge, okay?
Koaban.net, japantoday.com, tsunagujapan.com, guidesjapan.com, and the Japanese Folklore Research Centre page on Tumblr.
Oh, Tumblr. I've missed that
Tumblr.
name. I missed that. That takes me back to 2014.
Are you not still on
and
it?
13. I am, but I've not been on there for a very long time.
You were pretty Tumblr famous back in the day, within your
Back in the day.
your little
back in the
fandom.
day. In the Glee fandom, yes. Indeed. Yikes. Not anymore. My follower count has dwindled to about 2,000.
Well, most
It
of them are
used to be
dead.
At least 30. Yes. I think literally every single one of my followers deactivated their account. I used to have at least
Oh no,
30,000.
I meant the cast of Glee.
Oh, you meant my followers.
30,000.
I had 30,000 at one
Are you
point, now I have
shitting me?
2. No,
Where did they? How?
everyone just.
That's crazy.
I just used to make a lot of shit posts
Did you-
about Glee.
Did you monetize that shit?
No, I was just making dumb posts, and that was it. Like,
Okay,
I just was having
Fair.
fun.
that's fair.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
excited to hear about
So,
some villages.
the Abandoned Inunaki Howling Dog Village.
Let's do this.
This Japanese urban legend is about the supposedly forgotten Inunaki Village, literally translated as Howling Dog Village, which can be accessed through the Old Inunaki Tunnel, or in some versions of the legend through a hidden path close by. Located in the Fukuoka prefecture of Kyushu Island, Japan, the Old Inunaki Tunnel is known among locals as the most terrifying place in all of Kyushu, and one of the top 3 haunted locations in Japan.
Okay, so can I just say that I was gonna say, like, it's amusing how very specific they have to be about like where it's the most haunted place, because there are so many spooky things about Japan.
Yeah.
But then they went and said, okay, one of the top 3. So now I'm interested.
Now I'm interested. The Inunaki Tunnel can be found deep within the forest of Mount Inunaki, which is itself the setting of many creepy urban legends, and bridges the mountain pass between the cities of Miyakaka, Fukuoka and Koga. The tunnel and road leading up to it were first opened in November 1949, but with steep, treacherous driving conditions, especially during the very snowy winter months, the isolated, eerie road never became well used and is now mostly inaccessible by vehicle. While the entrance to the tunnel has now been sealed over with large concrete blocks stacked in front of it, there is still enough room for anyone brave enough to climb over the blocks to enter the tunnel. Thrill seekers who have apparently done this have reported their cameras malfunctioning, hearing strange, unidentifiable noises, and feeling like they were being watched by a malicious entity. This actually links to the history of the area, which goes back over 1,000 years to when it was apparently a training ground for esoteric Buddhist practitioners, who believed the area was a spiritual hotspot for lost souls. Modern spiritualists who went to the mountain to film a television special confirmed these claims, when they felt a foreboding spiritual atmosphere and refused to go any further. One urban legend says that there was a public phone box near the entrance of the tunnel, which was believed to be a magnet for ghosts, the voices of whom could be heard through the phone's receiver, but this has since been removed.
Now, why would you remove the coolest thing about the village? That sounds awesome. I would love a ghost phone, can you imagine? Mm-hmm. That would be great.
It would. I don't quite know what you do with it, but, you know.
I don't know, you could call people, I don't know, you could ring them up. Anything you want, Catty, that's the whole thing. You could phone them up and be like, hey, I'm kind of lonely. You want to come over and haunt my house or something, please feel free. Or you could be like, hey, I kind of hate this person, can you go and haunt their house? And they'll do it. That sounds like a pretty cool thing to me. I'm pretty.
You'd have to speak Japanese though.
I mean, that's why we have Google Translate, okay? That's why we have it. That's precisely why, to contact ghosts. Come on, Catty.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Claims of ghostly activity have been fueled even further by a number of tragic accidents and deaths in the area. The most famous of which was the murder of a 20-year-old factory worker named Umeyama Koichi in 1988, who was brutally beaten and killed by a group of teenage boys after they tried to steal his car. His body was found on December 7th, 1988, in the Inunaki Tunnel, and although his cause of death was due to blood loss from head wounds sustained during the beating, he had also had gasoline poured on him and been set on fire while he was still alive. The area has gained a reputation for being a place where bodies are dumped due to how remote it is, including people being killed by local gangs, as the Fukuoka region of Kyushu actually has the largest number of designated Yakuza syndicates in all of Japan. There have also been a number of deadly car crashes on the dangerous terrain of the mountain, including a head-on collision in 2001 which claimed the lives of 5 teenagers aged between 15 and 18, who were actually on their way home from ghost hunting at the Inunaki Tunnel. The nearby Inunaki Dam is also considered a popular suicide spot, and it is said that you can hear ghostly howling and screaming in the woods around Inunaki, potentially giving the area its name of Howling Dog.
You know what? I also call my sister that.
Oh, something.
Love you, Zabby, I'm kidding. We call her the little cow, not the howling dog. That was factually incorrect.
Okay, so on to the village, which is the main thing. Okay.
I'm excited.
So, the scariest of all of Inunaki's urban legends is probably that of the abandoned Inunaki Village, which is said to be hidden deep within the mountain and is made up of a forgotten community of terrifying, hostile residents who have been completely isolated from the rest of the world for centuries.
Ooh, wait. So is it a real village or is it's an urban legend?
It's an urban legend.
Okay, so we don't actually know if this village exists.
No, and if it sounds familiar, it's actually recently just been made into a horror film called Inunaki Mora, or Howling Village.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think it was made last year but released this year.
Okay.
And it looks really good.
I'm
so
excited. Okay.
There's also
I wanna watch that too.
a really terrifying computer game. I think it's a computer game that's like about the tunnel as well.
It sounds. I was gonna say it sounds like another video game that my brother used to play. It was one of the Resident Evil. Was it Resident Evil 4 or 5? Where like it's a town full of very hostile natives, and they like throw shit at you. Yes.
Oh, Resident Evil 4's the best.
Yes, that one.
We used to play it, and we played it on the Wii, do you remember? And there was the bit where Leon had to run away from the boulder, and we were awful.
Oh yeah, we had to replay it like 18 times.
Fling the remote.
Yes, and we just couldn't
And I was
do
like,
it.
can we not just play the PlayStation version? And you were like, no, the Wii.
I love that thing. That was fun. I remember also we played Umbrella Chronicles all the time. I loved that one. That was a fun one. But yeah.
The most well-known version of the legend is that you must take a small, easy-to-miss path down the side of the Old Inunaki Tunnel that gets narrower and narrower as it goes on, and that after following it for a while, you find a sign at the entrance to the village that states, "The Constitution and laws of Japan are not in effect past this point." If you are brave enough to continue, you'll see an old, broken down white sedan, which is all that remains of a couple who were unfortunate enough to enter the village and never returned. It is said that the village is full of traps to capture and maim any outsider who stumbles upon it, and that the villagers themselves will attack strangers with hatchets and sickles, and will dispose of their bodies near the entrance of the Inunaki Tunnel to scare off other potential trespassers.
So I read hatchets and sickles as hatchets and stickers. And I was so confused.
Oh, no.
I was like, that's not very painful.
That would attract me so much.
Yes. Just like being covered by like
Horde stickers.
aggressively coated in like glittery holographic. I would love that. I'd be like, yes, bitch.
The
fucking
squishy
tat me
ones.
up. Yes. Or like the scented ones.
Oh.
Lay that shit on me, okay?
There was also no phone service in the area, so you would be completely on your own, although Japanese authorities would refuse to enter the village even if you did manage to call for help. The village is said to have been isolated from the outside world since the Edo period, and that before then it had been a safe haven for fugitives and criminals. The years of inbreeding and segregation have left the modern-day residents highly aggressive and volatile, leading the Japanese government to completely remove it from all official maps and set up warning signs around the perimeter. Although everyone in Fukuoka seems to know a friend of a friend or have a distant cousin who apparently trespassed beyond the warning sign at the entrance to Inunaki Village and was never seen again, presumably killed by the rabid villagers, the urban legend is almost certainly fictional.
Aww.
Sorry, Jasmine.
But I mean, I want stickers. I want stickers now.
Stories about the abandoned Inunaki village first appeared online in 1999 after an anonymous person sent a letter to Nippon TV, one of the most popular stations in Japan, titled "The Village in Japan That Isn't Part of Japan." It describes the legend as we know it today, and the writer ends with a request for the TV station to investigate it as soon as possible. While Inunaki Village really did exist, and records of it date back to 1691, When Japan shifted to a municipal system in April 1889, it merged with other growing neighbouring villages, forming Yoshikawa Village, which itself was then merged with Wakamiya Town in 1955 to form what is Miyawaka City today. The site of the legendary Inunaki Village is actually now submerged underwater, as it formed part of the area flooded to form the reservoir of the Inunaki Dam, which began construction in 1970 and was completed in 1994. The only part of the village that's still visible is its old bridge, called Shimotanibashi, which can be seen when the water level of the dam is low. So, even though the abandoned Inunaki village may be nothing more than a very early creepypasta, the Old Inunaki Tunnel and the surrounding area is still regarded as one of the most terrifying and haunted places in all of Japan, where lost souls congregate, their screams sounding like howling through the trees of the forest.
I love that one. I've never heard of it before, you know?
I know. I only heard of it on one thing and then I looked it up because I was like, this is fucking horrifying.
I love it. It really does sound just like Resident Evil 4 though. Like I'm kind of like scandalized that they stole the whole thing.
The Las Plagas. Because in Resident Evil 4 it's supposed to be like a Spanish village. But then they all are sort of like mutated zombies.
I mean, but I can't really tell because my brother's version of Resident Evil 4, the graphics weren't exactly brilliant because he did have it on PlayStation 2. So, but I remember
I had
they
it
were
on
just
PlayStation 2 and the graphics are great.
Well, maybe yours was better than his because
unless
maybe
yours was a
TVS
knockoff from Hong Kong.
I don't know. Probably. You know what, Catty? We had a lot of those knocking about.
Yeah, I remember. Your mum would come like with gifts, and she'd always be like, "I bought them at the market."
They're like $10 each. So that's like £1 each game. She was always so proud.
She was like, "Let me buy you a laptop. They're only like £20." Like
no. I mean,
no, thank you.
I think like the laptops here are cheaper, but that's because we have no VAT. So I think maybe she meant £20 cheaper, but she wouldn't buy you one for £20. She's not crazy. But yeah, it might have been, but I remember from the graphics, no discernible features. They would just scream like and then jump at you with like a big stick. Yes, it was again very racially insensitive or culturally, and I don't even know what it was. It was a great game though. It was a great game.
It is. So, do you have anything to say before we wrap this up?
No, I do not. Other than I now want to go and find this movie.
Yeah, so do I. I really want to.
Like, yeah, it sounds awesome.
Because I think in the movie, it's that they enter the village through the tunnel.
That tunnel does sound really, really creepy.
It looks cool as well, and it is like a couple entrances to it, I think. But then there is just this one that has concrete blocks stacked in front of it, but you could very easily get over the top.
Yeah, come on. I mean, you can
just plot of the game.
I want to check that out. I want to actually look it up later. What's it called again?
The Howling Village. Yeah, Howling Village.
Okay, nice. I shall look it up.
Okay, so thank you so much for listening, and we hope to have you back for next week's episode. If you want to get in touch for any reason, just to say hello or to send us a story of your own true paranormal or spooky experience, please email us at spookygirlspodcast@gmail.com, and also make sure to like and follow our Spooky Girls Facebook page, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also check us out on Twitter at SpookyGirlsPod and on Instagram at SpookyGirlsPodcast. If you want to support us further, then you can become a patron by going to patreon.com/SpookyGirls, and from as little as $2 a month you gain access to bonus episodes and other awesome content that we have planned for the future. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you all next time. Stay spooky. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye.